We're now fully set, guys. Welcome to the best of 7. In the top right side, we have a slightly bluish Protoss player. It is SOS. A man just returning from his military service. Still representing that good old Team NV from history. It was quite a wonderful team with a lot of great players on there, of course. SOS being among them. Innovation. I think Innovation has been on a lot of teams overall, hasn't he? I know that. Wasn't it the Kaisi Gaming who was that the previous time? It's doing pretty well for them. Anyway. Hopefully both these players get themselves a team back. Or back into a team, I should say. Already gonna go with a proxy. Looks like a starport here, or Stargate, sorry, with an Oracle, I imagine. We've seen, what was it? Stats also make a return recently, of course, and he still was trying to make the Void Ray rush work. This was against, I think, Innovation as well. We saw Innovation do extremely well against that Void Ray, so let's hope it's not gonna work. After all, that Void Ray takes a bit longer to really get things going there, and it's just not as it was, right? It really is not what it was. Reaper's gonna get into the main base. A bit of SimCity there. It's not gonna hold him off. Still a gap at the top. The Adept really trying to stop any probes from going down, and the Reaper not gonna be able to get any, it looks like. That will be... Ooh, does survive. Alright. Might be able to get a scout off, trying to look for that proxy. After all, he knows there's a pylon missing. He knows there's tech missing. So he's going to be starting to scout around here on the bottom left, just north of his base. Checking the extremely close positions first. And let's take a look. It's a Stargate. What? Where did that Oracle go? What happened? There it is. It's still coming. Okay. For a moment I thought I had just missed it. The Reaper does get eyes on what's happening here on the on his side of the map. Of course, the Oracle already arriving. A few Marines that are here do seem to be sufficient to rid the world of the Oracle for the time being. Losing only one singular SCV, not too shabby. Now, this is pretty crazy. Okay. I realized there was other stuff warping in, but he just took the gold base next to his Stargate here. This is pretty cool. This is not something you would normally really see all that often, and you know what? It's nice that SOS is back, and he's not afraid to just instantly jump into these types of shenanigans again. And make the game just a little bit more beautiful by making it a little bit more weird and unique. The mine drop with the Marines are causing quite a bit of a stir here. 3 probes been killed. Be able to get something else other than lost mining time, but no, it looks like just the 3 kills and the lost mining time. I guess he gets out of that with most of his units. So again, a trade I would say that's pretty good for Innovation. Start of this game looking pretty sharp for him, and he has a gold base he could start attacking here, right? He knows about this as well. He saw it warp in. There's plenty of area here for the siege tanks to just be an absolute pain, I imagine. Ooh, that's Oracle just barely surviving. It's going to be tough for SOS, I imagine. How are you going to defend this area here? This is very difficult to do. Looks like he is just planning to send some Stalkers around. Is he going to go for the counter-attack? Is this gold base just all a ruse to try and get the Terran to attack here? He's just making another gold base on the other side of the map as he's gonna go into the main base of Innovation. This is starting to feel a little bit evil, as if he's just opening up big areas for innovation to attack, and then as soon as that happens, he's like, alright, nice, now I can go attack your main base. It's very beautiful. It's a very cool strategy, I have to admit. And then because of these bases being so far apart, normally you would see it as something bad because you can't defend it. But if you don't plan to defend it at all anyway, it's actually pretty good that it's so far away from your main base. Because innovation, like, all he can do is take out the gold base. He's not going to be able to then run again halfway across the map, or pretty much the entirety of the map, to try and get into your main base, right? It's going to take way too long with those stalkers in his main. No. Okay, just save it. He's going to get the siege tank with a mine there. Nice little pull away from one of the stalkers. Oh, this is a very cool game. He's gonna warp in and not. There we go. Okay, he's just taking both. He's decided he's gonna have both. Kills the Raven there. A bit of a lax positioning, perhaps. Keeping it quite far forwards, especially when it got tagged by the Oracle. He knew it got tagged, so. Definitely not the cleanest of positions there for the Raven. SOS. I mean, he hasn't been back for that long, but he's already innovating. Which is funny to say when innovation is part of the game again as well. I'm gonna have to watch out for that word again, innovating and innovation, because, yeah. In a sense, that's why the only reason why I was happy that I didn't have to cast innovation again is because I could use the word once more without it being a player at the same time. Alright. So, yeah, it's very difficult for me to give a really clear estimation as to where this game is right now, as we got the Terran's still on a healthy economy, right? He's got a good amount of workers again. The Protoss took some damage. He's lost one of his nexus. Stopped mining of his second base for a good amount of time there. Stopped mining in his main base for a good amount of time there. Lost 3 probes, right? So that difference is not that massive. But then we got this thing about, you know, golden mineral patches. And let's take another look over here with now 2 golden bases on this map being saturated. Somehow innovation is still an income advantage here. Spots that there is another gold base. Innovation feels the pressure to try and start doing something about that as well. Does not want his opponent to just be slurping up all those golden minerals in the middle of the map. I'm kind of hoping that in some way SOS now just starts taking the regular nexus and the 3rd base as well, right? And it starts... If this does start turning into a long game, it's going to be such a benefit of having been able to just mine these middle bases already right off the bat, right? Otherwise, that would become such a huge point of contest later down the line, potentially. Right, that is a good amount of zealots. 8 gateways, they will deliver a good amount of zealots to you. Blink for Dark Templars also coming up. The force of innovation still a bit worrisome to me also. It's a lot of units. It's a lot of units, especially with the Widow Mines there. It's definitely got a good shot of decimating the Protoss forces here. But with a clean engagement, perhaps when the Terran isn't paying attention, with the Zealots getting a very good wraparound, I could see the Terran army potentially getting decimated also. So gotta be careful here for both of them. Both of them scanning, trying to throw those Oracle abilities onto the Terran, right? Keep spotting where they're at, keep tagging them. Now onto the Nexus, 2 Dark Templars. Gonna try to start snipping away at some of those units. And again, SOS just decides, you know what, no, I'm not going to try to defend those gold bases. The other bases of mine are so far away. I'm just going to go to the heart of your entire army, economy, all of your production. Look at this. This is so... Yeah, wow. Man, I feel like this is something that pretty much everyone should do now, right? It feels silly not to do this. Just to have random bases across the map. How is he doing this? How is he making me think this? He just killed all the command centers of innovation. He doesn't have any command centers anymore. He doesn't have money to buy another command center. What? You're joking. You're joking. I'm not even sure what innovation was supposed to do. Wow. Man, I am glad I started up Royal Blood here as the first map. That is... My goodness, SOS was prepared. This is a nasty way of doing this, really. Man. I wonder how this would have happened against, like, a Beyond, right? What would a Beyond do? Is this still something as well where, because innovations, you know, not that long back from military? He's been playing out of his mind, though. Not just today, but other times where we got the opportunity to see innovation play as well. He's been playing good. Yeah. There go the Stalkers. They just blink in. They are going to get squished by the Widowmines and an anti-armor missile. I don't think it matters, as, you know what, the Zealots themselves alone could kill him. There's no stealth detection, remember this, because the Raven is dead. And there's no command centers anymore either, so it's like, what are you supposed to do here? GG. SOS, what an... Wow. Wow. Alright, here we are, in the top left side. The barely blue Protoss player. It is... SOS. Not just SOS, but actually it is... SOS. SOS. That's right. He's back. This is his first time playing again in a paid match. Being broadcasted amongst all the fans, all the StarCraft nerds. Welcome back. Welcome back to SOS, everyone. I hope you're happy, because my goodness, we have a plethora of Koreans just piling back into the scene right now. Talking about those players, here's another one of them. Just recently back, the Red Terran. Wonderful to see him again, and hoping he'll be back for a while. It is Innovation, the king of games, the emperor of games, really. The man that just is good at all games, or at least that's what his brother says. Which is, to be fair, what every younger brother says about their older brother, isn't it? Alright. No proxy this time around from Mr. SOS. There's no gold bases on this map either, of course. There's the rich Vespian gas, but I think those bases would be a lot more difficult to grab, and try to utilize that same strategy on seeing how these bases are pretty much connected onto the rest of the Protoss bases, right? We're very close. They're not in these very far away corners of the map, which seems to be quite crucial for the strategy of SOS there. That felt like one of those strategies where I just tried to play a regular game of StarCraft 2 and then on ladder, right? And then that happens to me and I'm like, well, I'm not supposed to lose against this. I'm 100% sure. But at the same time, I have no idea what I could have done. I have no idea. Gets the Marine. Gets an SCV. Gets a delay on the command center here. SOS looking sharp. Thank you for the moderation going on as well in the chat. Not sure who is doing it, but you know, you're appreciated. I can't read Korean as well, so here we go. Blink. Coming up 3. That's now too much for these Marines, and the Marines decided to go outside at a terrible moment. Oh dear, this could be bad. Okay, the 3 adapts do have a pretty good shot of taking out a lot of these Marines. I don't know if they'll straight up win as 2 more Marines do pop out of the barracks. The Widowmine doesn't quite get the kill. No SCVs were pulled either, so it looks like Innovation feeling pretty confident about his odds there. A bit of an exchange. 5 Marines for the 2 adapts. 2 SCVs also go down. I think that's a great start overall for SOS. Look at this command center still not having an SCV here ready to help. There we go. Now starting up that production again as the 3rd Nexus of SOS is already on the way. He's still going to have to turn it into an orbital as well, so very rough start here for Innovation. Let's see if the Widowmine drop is going to be able to do anything to remedy this bad spot that he's found himself in. Doesn't look like it's going to be easy. SOS pretty on top of this. Only dropping the 1 Widowmine. Might be able to... Oh, it's 2 probes, alright. It's something. It's definitely something. Robo coming in as well. Innovation still trying to kind of secure this entire area around his base, but the Stalkers with the Adepts are back and the Marine numbers on there. Great, the SCVs get destroyed once more. Production just in limbo right there. The bunker has to be cancelled. The siege then coming forwards, but a blink on top of it very aggressively just takes it out. 4 Stalkers remain. Are they going to be able to take down most of everything here? Oh, they do take out a lot. 2 of them escaped. 4 probes go down as the Widowmine here, I imagine, managed to get something going there. A Raven harassing as well. Auto turrets. Hoping to minimize those rogue numbers again. Because the worker count is not that far apart just quite yet. It's just that I feel worried about the units that Innovation is losing. That could be a mistake of me to be worried about something like that, but this economy isn't too bad. Let's take a look over here, actually. Am I missing something crucial? It's only now getting a 2nd and 3rd racks. That is... yeah, that is terrifying. How many gates are we on? 3. We got the Robo. Going any further just quite yet, so I don't think the army count will really skyrocket here either for SOS or for Innovation, right? Still getting the double engineering bay. Still feel like SOS is a bit favored in this position, but overall Innovation not too far behind. Got to be careful though. Normally you might want to start thinking about trying to push yourself across the map at some point here, but well, with the losses he's taken, the 13 Marines, the siege tank, the medevac, and 2 Widowmines I guess as well. They weren't really intended to be part of the drop or the push, but the other units definitely were. My goodness. SOS punishing a little bit of the siege tank positioning from Innovation there. Dropping Zealots, spreading them out, running them over the biggest clumps of SCVs, trying to get splash damage going there. He's something else, guys. just don't see that type of stuff, do you? That got 7 SCV kills. Now, to be fair, Innovation probably should have just unsieged that siege tank. But maybe he thought he could just run the SCVs away from the Zealots there for a while, as they didn't have charge, so... yeah, it didn't work out for him, did it? Killed 1 of those Zealots in exchange for 7 of the SCVs. Missile turret here, making it difficult for the Colossus drop to happen. That's right, a Colossus drop at 8.5 minutes. It really does feel like SOS is just here having a party, right? He's just celebrating right now being back in StarCraft. He's just doing whatever he feels like almost, and it's working out beautiful. That's the greatest part about it. It really has that SOS celebration feeling now for me. Alright, more of a Zealot run by. The army is quite far on the left side of the map, so the Zealots find some value here. Nothing too significant, but you know what, 4 SCVs, a couple of the Marines. Didn't trade out inefficiently, so that's pretty good. I would like that, personally. Ooh, Colossi now in trouble with the War Prism as well, being interfered with. Can't do any pickup micro then, can you? This army of Innovation not looking all too intimidating, especially with charge now being available for those Zealots. I think this is going to be just a wash for the Terran. Yeah, he is gonna like this, is he? Ooh, does get away with those medevacs. A couple more Starkers. Can they blink on top of this? Come on, Starkers. Little bit too late to get that final volley. Does he have more Stalkers here? Yes, he does. They're coming, and there's the shot. The big medevac shot down now. 2 Marauders only in the main base, and that's it. Innovation with another army coming forwards in the middle of the map, but once again, it just doesn't seem as imposing as what the Protoss is bringing here. Might still be able to take out a Nexus, as SOS not entirely aware of the positioning of the Terran army there, it seems like. We'll be able to still clean it up, though. Yeah, is just going to chase this down. No doubt in my mind that he will just let this go. Or wait, well, you know what I mean. Cleans up most of it. 4 Marauders remaining there. Starting to really take the upper hand in the units trading value tab here. Like to see that Stalker shoot the medevac, but come on, come on. There we go. Guess this is more important though. Colossi wailing away at the bio. Innovation trying to only have 1 unit being shot at the time, which is doing fairly well. To slow it down, buy himself some time to just create more units. Ghosts are coming up as well. And just a single Ghost would be massive here. Would be such a great addition to for him. A couple of Dark Templars also trying to poke in from the top side. There, missile turret there, being ready. Okay, Innovation's going to have to go eventually here, and there he goes now with a big concave, bringing in the SCVs as well. Is he going to be able to get on top of those Colossi? It doesn't look like it. Not even whole damage has been applied to them yet, as another wave of Zealot decides to come crashing in. The Terran seemingly hopeless to defend. So those Colossi, let's see the kills. 11 kills, 18 and 17 in total. That is a very efficient couple of Colossi. No Vikings were out. The Ghost definitely would have helped if they were already available, right? Get that big EMP onto the Zealot ball before they start running into all direction, but it just wasn't in the cards for Innovation, and it looks like we're going to have SOS go into a 2-0 stance. Even with a long break, he's still an evil genius. He really is. He really is. The maniacal man with a monocle that lives in a volcano somewhere. It is. That's just who he is. Bottom right side, the slightly not blue, but also quite blue, the Protoss player, SOS, on his debut reappearance on the scene, starting off 2-0 against an opponent who's also trying to make a comeback onto the scene. He's had a couple more matches underneath his belt already. Well, in the end, it's only like, what, a handful, really. Maybe 2-3 days of playing. He's still in a very similar boat as his opponents, but he seems to be struggling against SOS in particular. It's the Red Terran. It is innovation. Moving things along with a gateway on the low ground. Looks like it will be a Nexus first here, right? No? Okay, might go for the side of the wall as well. Never mind. I was jumping to conclusions. I guess he does see the Reaper there. Or potentially Marine. A one-base approach this time from Innovation. See the reactor on the barracks, the factory. I'm imagining we're gonna see the drop play, either Widowmines or Hellions. Alright, we're going for the Widowmines here. Reaper in the main base of Protoss is gonna have that shoot battery momentarily and not lose a single probe. Yeah, not lose a single probe. Okay. Thought he might get that Widowmine, but doesn't quite. Yeah. Also, Innovation is back. 2 is back still, of course, as well. Hero's back. Pion is back. Right. Feels like we got more Koreans now that came back from military than we have Koreans that still gotta go to military, right? It's a new age, I would say. We have entered a new dawn. New players are back again on the scene, and it's something very interesting for StarCraft 2, right? Because it's so difficult to get new players from, you know, the new generation. We get lucky sometimes and we get the Max Paxes, the Rainas, and those young kids, right? There's still other very talented players trying to make that happen, and you know, in all honesty, I really hope they do, because that would be amazing for me to see. But at the same time, right, this is kind of like a artificial way to get new players into the scene. Did that just get 7 kills here in the actual? That's a bit rough. Oh, you. Okay. 7 probes, that's a lot. Parting returns this month as well. Very exciting. Okay, yeah, that is very exciting indeed. Yeah, so it's like, you know, I have no idea what's gonna happen, right? It's suddenly we just have this influx of players again, and it feels weird. It's like we almost a little bit reminiscent of the moment when what was that called again? The Caspas teams and the GSL players started actually competing against one another. I think that's what it was called. Right, and suddenly we had this whole new branch of competition that we had to take into account whenever we were watching a tournament, and it was fascinating to see how it kind of matched up against one another. Now, of course, you know, these guys came back from military. They're not from a hard-working another scene, but another branch of StarCraft. But overall, what's that? Overall, you know, seeing them play right now, I don't think it's going to be that long for some of them to start winning or getting really close to winning tournaments again. Definitely going to be real competitors here as well. I mean, Innovation finding good damage onto those probes. The 7 probes at the start. A little bit of a fumble, I suppose, there on the probe control. I mean, SOS was aware of it. He saw it happen. He had the Adept still trying to take care of it, right? So a bit of a miscalculation there. It happens. It happens to the best of us. As we can see it happening to SOS here, who's clearly one of the best of us. Right. Oh man, I want to see SOS and Innovation play more against the other players on the scene again as well. Is that? There must be players as well. Like, I'm thinking, MaxPax, for example. How many times has MaxPax played against some of these players that went to military, right? I don't think he's played against that many of them overall. Well, I could be wrong. Maybe my timeline there in my own head is misformed. Misconstrued. That would be interesting statistics to look up. Couple of Phoenix scooting around. Might be able to see this army still. Okay, they are gonna start moving down here. Let's hope they don't fly directly over it. 2 medevacs now filled up. The Phoenix, they are coming into position. Alright, just in time. Makes Innovation reconsider that option there. Bit fortunate for SOS, I would say. I think that drop, well, it probably would have been tough with the army separated there, but still had a bit of potential. 100%. Of course, it would have been very committed with the Phoenix there, ready to shoot down the medevacs as soon as he tries to make a retreat, but... Looks like we're back in 2013. Yeah, it feels that way. It really does. Ghost Academy. For Mr. Innovation. I mean, there's strong units, but I think I would prefer him going for the Vikings before the Ghost here, just because of the army composition of his opponent, right? The Colossi and the Phoenix. Don't necessarily need Vikings against Phoenix, but against those Colossi, they're very useful. EMP also very useful. I guess Innovation, a player that typically used to like to go for a very heavy Marauder mix. But right now he's still quite strongly on the Marines as well. 30 Marines versus the 10 Marauders. It's not very heavily favoring the Marauders there. This Nexus is not gonna have its moment in the sun. Command Center looks like that will have its moment in the sun. This SOS is just starting to fall behind now. The macro of Innovation really seeming to kind of start taking into effect. The income advantage has been poking into his favor. The worker count is pretty equal now. Well, this might become a difficult fight here for SOS. Where is his army? Is this in... This can't be his entire army, right? There has to be more. First, okay, another Colossus coming out of the natural together with some more Zealots. Pick up some valuable units. The Ghost and the Cyclone does manage to take care of those. Still a lot of bio here. Still a whole herd of bio. This is going to hurt, I believe. Colossi need to target down the Marines as quickly as possible, so the Zealots have good time just facing against the Marauders. There's the rest of SOS's army. Finally coming into play, and looks like he has dealt really well, actually, with the Army of Innovation here. I thought that would be a lot more difficult, but the Colossi just didn't die. He never quite got on top of them. And instead, Innovation kind of taking the main brunt of that engagement on the nose. Bottom left Nexus recreated during all of that. So SOS back on the equal amount of bases here. Just still a bit worrisome. Seeing how the economy of Innovation just a bit better, right? Macro, one of the strong suits of Innovation. It has been for as long as we remember. Maybe SOS is going to have to try and make a retreat here, but it feels like he's obligated or something to try and make something happen. I don't think that's the right call. One more Zealot Whopping, that would have been enough. Or really, that one Zealot Whopping, if that had come through. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, you're kidding me. SOS is going to have to tap out. GG. Innovation takes a game as well. Seen a lot of variation in the approaches of SOS here already. Very map specific, very not map specific. And the Phoenix Colossi strat really does seem popular with these Protoss players that are returning. Stats also seemingly favoring that type of army in the PvT matchup. Now, is that something that they're gonna carry the flag for, or the banner for a while, and suddenly we're gonna see maybe a switch? As people decide, you know what, that's actually still pretty good, or one of our better options here. Or are they slowly gonna transition into something a bit more leaning to what we're seeing from Protoss players, right? That tried the Phoenix Colossi as well, and then started steering away from it. To, you know, a more gateway style orientated play, or with the quicker storm and all that sort of stuff, right? Why I keep making it best of 5? You're right. I'm sorry. It is a best of 7. The 5 is just closer on the keyboards than the 7 is, and I guess I'm lazy or something. But yeah, no, we are going to keep going until it's, you know, someone reaches 4 victories. Anyway. Double scout with the Adept here. Once again, trying to be a nuisance. Not going to get that command center delayed as much this time, so that's a good news for Mr. Innovation here. Things looking better for him than they did in game number 2. He's going to go once more for a Widowmine drop as well. And I got him 7 probe kills the last time around. Truly hoping that's not going to happen again here for SOS. Hope to see a bit more persistence and overall cleanness in his defense. So that is going to be a crucial skill if we want to see him make it far in tournaments. Wow. That Widowmine. That one Widowmine killed all 3 Adepts. They were all just barely low enough. That is ridiculous. Man. The thoughts that must have gone through his mind there. I've got 3 adepts here. The perfect number to start one-shotting those SCVs. I just need to go through 1 marine here. And then we're gonna get some damage. And boom. Tough break. A tough break. With a mine drop gonna start coming in here. All the explosions once again be a nuisance here for SOS. It looks like he is on the buttons. Doesn't lose anything there. Doesn't lose anything there. Perfect defense so far. Shooting 1 window mine down. The other one in the corner. Alright. Alright, that's good. That's alright. So neither of them getting tremendous damage. Yeah, I think I still prefer SOS here. With the 3 adepts killing the 6 marines might not seem like a lot, but it definitely takes some of the oomph out of the approach later down the line for the Terran. Now SOS here starting a 3rd base. We're seeing the Robo, and it looks like what is going to be the more gateway-orientated type of play already appearing here. Oh, no, never mind. There is the Robotics Bay also coming in. Spoke too soon. How many gateways? Yeah, it's only 3 gateways, so it's not an enormous amount. SOS just being an absolute pain in the rear. Trying to get whatever he can. He's got to be careful of that siege tank. And he's going to respect it very properly. There's another siege tank here in the natural base, so hopefully SOS is not going to try to just blink on top of that bunker. Innovation lowering the supply depots, inviting the Stalkers in. SOS having other plans, coming in with a bit of a War Prism there. Interference Matrix, a little bit too late, does allow the Stalkers back in. Oh, and the Stalkers now jumping onto the siege tank rather than the bunker here. Not losing a single one of them in the process. That is impressive. He's going to get out of here as well, though. I have my doubts. Oh, somewhat cleanly. Losing 2 Stalkers. Getting a couple of those SCVs killed. A siege tank, the Raven. 2 more Marines as well. What? Getting pretty excited for SOS here. Snipe some more SCVs there. Back into that Wall Prism. He is just a swarm of bees, really, around Innovation's face. That's what he's doing. Innovation's struggling here. He's trying to keep up. Gonna start his approach across the map now. But once he gets there, there's going to be 2 Colossi. I don't think there will be extended thermal lance. In fact, you know what? He might actually return back at some point because there is still this War Prism here. Yeah, that War Prism is buying even more time now for SOS. So that is fantastic, right? He needs that time for this upgrade to finish up to really be solid in his own defensive shoes here back at home. Just, yeah, be fine. Be fine. Innovation having a lot of SCVs kind of oversaturated there. He's going to start long distance mining. We'll have his 3rd base fly across pretty soon. Is he still going to go for some sort of an attack? This would normally be a timing, right, for the Terran, but this upgrades the +1 armor only coming in. Might not be the best moment for him. Might wait for another opportunity later, right, with like +2. Or when he has Ghost. When he has all the attack he wants. And to be fair as well, I mean, again, the macro of Innovation here is shining through. With all of that harassment going on, he's still an equal amount of workers with his opponents, right? I bet if we go through this replay, we could find a couple of moments where it's like, you know what, it would be really good to continue your pro production here, SOS. So innovation sticking backwards and just kind of letting this go into more of a macro game might play very much into his favor, right? Against this opponent in particular, SOS, it might very well be a key way for him to get victory here. Is he gonna get aggressive and allow SOS an opportunity to start mangling more of innovation? To be fair as well, SOS has the opportunity here to start taking more bases as well, right? If innovation's not moving anywhere, you may as well take advantage of that entire situation. But SOS seeming quite adamant still about trying to reduce the overall presence of the Terran here, rather than increasing the Protoss presence. He does find himself a command center here. Innovation, however, is coming in from the side angle. Finds an enormous amount of EMPs, but is not going to be able to find any kills here. Now the Warprism in the main base. That is causing a lot of trouble. Innovation suddenly up in arms. All the units going everywhere. He's not quite sure how to deal with this situation, and the Colossi are just waiting for this transferring army, trying to get back into the main base together with the rest of the troops, trying to deal with everything that's happening on his production. And he just gets slammed. Absolutely slammed. Wow. That fight was not close. Holy smokes. I think SOS was even lower in overall army supply, but it just didn't matter. It just didn't matter. On match point, the slightly blue Protoss player, it is SOS. Man in the top left side, the red Terran player, it is Innovation. You know, he did try to get stuff going there. Right? He did try to get some Widow Mines going. He did try to get some Raven harassment going. All that stuff. But in that situation, you know, you can't just go across the map anyway and hope that you get something going if you just don't have the units to really do it with. Maybe losing that third siege tank really was the moment where he was like, you know what, no, it's not gonna work. If I try to push out at that moment, I better just batter up back at home. Try to make myself an impenetrable fortress. Hope SOS just continues attacking into me. And take really good fights. And then, you know, hopefully from there win the game. It's not a bad strategy. It's a valid way to try and get that victory still going. But at the same time, you know, SOS kind of did do that, and you know, he did keep attacking Innovation, but he was just dissecting him, really. Just kept coming in at the angles that Innovation wasn't prepared for, didn't have his units in the right place, kept losing units as he tried dealing with the defense, but had his units too far spread out. Perhaps anticipating some sort of another attack, and maybe if he was more aggressive, right, he would have been more aware of the Protoss army. But he also would have been at a bigger risk of the Protoss army, you know? So, yeah. Oof, man, it's a tough game. It's a tough game. Right. Innovation here. Let's see what he is going to bring to the table this time around. Another Widowmine drop. It's something that, you know, used to be more of the way of the TVP for the Terran on how to approach this. We've seen people be a bit less adamant about Widowmine drops and all that sort of stuff in an attempt to make those two base timing pushes become a bit stronger. And a bit more potent. Getting those 3 Raxes up a bit quicker, you know. I guess SOS also still playing in a bit of an older way, right? Once again, going into the Phoenix Colossi. And that is the army composition that Innovation managed to beat the previous time. Still gonna go across the map here? No, okay. I was wondering what was gonna happen there. He realizes there's Phoenix out, so it would be quite the gambit to try and make Widowmine still happen in this situation. It's just gonna start setting them up on random locations. Hope to intercept something in the future. Be it a Phoenix, be it a War Prism, be it anything that tries to come at your SCVs. Right, let's make a Cyclone here. Nice bit of anti-air. It's defensive play from Innovation here. But at the same time, you know, it feels like SOS is kind of forcing him down that path. He can't just still be like, you know what, I'm still going to do it anyway. And then just hope I don't run into those Phoenix and just lose. Just straight up lose. Oh, he is going to lose a Widowmine here. Gets the heads up about these units coming his way. Fair amount of Marines with the Cyclone, seeming to be enough for the Phoenix to steer clear of that area, at least for the time being, until they don't anymore. Big Widowmine connection, but, you know, Phoenix, they will be able to live through one of those. Total of 4 SCVs killed now this match. The Widowmine also taken out as SOS once more, seeming to just be in control of the game. Right. Nothing too bad there quite yet. Got a second Colossi on the way, as the Phoenix are just kind of buying more time here. So Innovation, well, he's got his 5 Rex up now. But he's also got these Phoenix just here endlessly looking at everything. Picking off units. And I don't think this is going to go well for him anymore. Just felt like he never had a chance, really. Oof. Who did we see Innovation play against recently? It was Stats, wasn't it? And he looked pretty sharp there. Who else did we see him play against? Who else? Did I only see him play against Stats? Maybe. I remember versus Stats that I believe it was a best of 5 that went to game number 5. After Stats managed to get a 2-0 lead, Innovation suddenly started taking some maps back. Oh my. Yeah, no sense in turning back now. Innovation knows something's gonna have to give here, but looking at the army, well, he's gonna need one hell of an engagement here. One single immortal together with the 3 Colossi. A lot of the sentries there as well. Gotta be careful of the Widow Mines, Mr. SOS. Bit disrespectful there, but doesn't lose any super important units. Innovation managing to get the Phoenix away from his main base as well somehow. Base of SOS here with a few medevac's worth of units. Wouldn't mind trying to make some space as well, but those medevac's are not having a great time. A lot of units going down there as well. Phoenix will be coming along. Innovation perhaps a bit of a sense of desperation with that move. Only getting the 3 probes. Losing a whole herd of units. Attack. Might be able to get the Nexus this time around. I don't... okay, the Pro's army is already here. That's only the Zealots. And, well, the Zealots are at least dealt with efficiently. Innovation making a move back. And those are the fights Innovation should be looking for. Those are the fights, yeah, you kind of want to be trying to get throughout this game, right? But it's only now, really, with those bases being elongated like this, that it feels like it might be possible for Innovation to make moves like this. Interesting little flank from the side. The other army of Innovation starting to move back towards the northern flank as well. SOS might be pulled on certain angles here. 2 medevacs. Oh, that is a lonely pylon right there. Another pylon. Those 2 go down. Actually, a lot of gateways unpowered. Nexus goes down. SOS straight up into base race mode. Recalling half his army to the main should be enough to deal with that. Now, does Innovation have enough to still hold his natural base? And if not, does he have enough to hold his main base here? If he can hold his natural base, I can see some sort of a way perhaps for him to try and make a comeback happen here. Especially because he's doing really well with the army here. Oh dear. Still having these units on the side. Man, Innovation managed to get up to 110 army supply, actually. Those few good fights that he did take, they're paying in dividends right now. They have been incredibly efficient. SOS, suddenly, they're back on 2 base each. SOS might need to recall these units. Right? Oh, he cannot take both these armies. He needs to find a way to kill one of these armies at a time. Oh, he's going to lose his own. He's going to lose his own. And I think that's GG. I think Innovation has just gotten himself another victory. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That was so... What? He was in such a bad position, but it just kept growing. The macro for Innovation here. I mean, again, just being such a staple. Alright. High Templars now part of the mix. All gonna become Archons. Of course. Thought he was gonna try to showcase some feedbacks as well, perhaps, but not gonna be as lucky for us. Innovation now almost doubled the supply of SOS. He should be in a good spot here. Dark Templars attempting to get something done, but scans and missile turrets available throughout the Terran Kingdom. So, yeah, he doesn't have that going for him. SOS here, 73 army supply strong still, but he's up against 128. So, if he doesn't manage to kill off one portion of the Terran army before the rest gets there, I don't think there's any odds of him winning anymore. He needs to find a way to get this Protoss army to fight just a portion of the Terran army. And Innovation is presenting a little bit of a potential opportunity here, but oh, it's going to be very small. Ew, there he goes. Yeah, no, that's not there. That's not it. Alright, GG. We're going to have a game number 6 and potentially a game number 7 as well. That would be cool. Let's take a look. Let's take a gander. Of course, we do have golden bases here in the middle of the map as well. I don't think they're as well situated as they are in Royal Blood. I don't think we'll see the same tactic here out of SOS as we saw on game number 1. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen that, please go and check it out, because it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Should have left that as the last map, really. But then, I don't know if SOS would have done the strategy, right? Maybe because I just kind of jumped that map on him in his lap, he was like, ooh, alright, I know a strategy for this. And then before he could think, like, I probably shouldn't do this strategy on this map, he was already doing it, right? That's... something like that. Who knows?
Game paused.
Oh, bit of a break. Right, we'll give him a moment. Yeah, I think that means ready in Korean, right?
Game resumed.
Alright, there we go. I always like to be the referee, just so, you know, I press the button and nobody has to, like... Because the pause break button, I don't know if other players have that, right? On the actual pause button still. I imagine they do. I don't think they would change it that much, or maybe they do, actually. I don't know. Depends on how much they use it. But yeah, it's just rough, right? To, like... It's a big jump to make on the keyboards, and even though it's like a half a second or even less for a pro player, it's still, yeah, it's not even half a second, right? It's still one of those extra things that suddenly just gives you a bump in the road. Whoever has to press that on pause button, so that's why I always try to be the guy that has to press it. I think it's the most fair. I think so. Low ground Nexus and a double gateway there as well. We already have the cyber core here, of course, on the high ground. Still trying to make a little bit of a wall of that for his natural base, which is interesting. I don't know what that is exactly for. Could it be Hellion run-bys, other run-bys at a later point in time? Could it be a choke point? Could it be just a bit of extra HP so that when units run in, they'll start shooting back instead of the units behind it? Or could it be just sacrificial lambs there to hopefully appease the Terran gods when they arrive with their siege tanks? No one's quite sure. No one is quite sure. Once we figure out a way how to communicate with the Protoss species, we'll figure it out, maybe. Until then, everything they do is an absolute mystery to us. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, there's the Marine on there. Oh, he's just gonna go for the Marines! SOS, you naughty little boy! What? Oi, 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 oi. That is rough. That is going to be a lot of kills. Those shades are going to get cancelled here. He's not being that adamant about giving chase, but I think he's worried about the SCVs getting away through the top side here. Wants to have that other shade. More Stalkers showing up. How many gateways is this? There's only 3 gateways. Ladies and gentlemen, SOS is coming in early again. He's coming in hot and, well, pretty naughty, but it's gonna get him a victory here. It will be a 4-2. It looks like, as 13 SCVs have gone down. SOS, he's losing some probes as well on the other side. It's only 2, the Widowmine drop not finding massive damage there, unfortunately, for Innovation. And he is now in absolute mayhem. Here's the siege tank here. It's going to get targeted down as well. I imagine it's quite close to the edge of that ramp. But SOS is going to respect it for the time being. Here. Ooh, this is the price for not building a bunker. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Sometimes you get a bit greedy. That's a good call, Zerdal. I already forgot about the bunker. It feels like it just vaporized like a lot of the other stuff there at the front base of the Terran did. But yeah, no. You had a lot of Marines, but not enough. Especially if you still go for that Widowmine drop also, right? You're just not going to have that much at home. And suddenly, well, things go awry. And now we have 28 SCVs versus 46 probes. 46 Macaulay probes that are going to be looking to make SOS a very wealthy man. You might see $sign, $sign once again in his name. After this, here we go. Another jump onto the siege tank. Another disassembly of the natural base is going to have to take place here. He's trying to bring another siege tank a bit lower on the low ground, but there's, I mean, yeah, that is just gone. The siege tank just not enough to really defend this area. 5 more SCVs go down. Auto turret buying a bit of time, but it's just a couple of seconds. As the Stalkers are back at it. Once again, the Ravens now, no energy remaining. Another siege tank is ready to start shooting as well. Is he gonna, yeah, just siege it up there. Don't bring it up too far. Okay, he's starting to get some okay shelling, but he loses the medevac as well. Innovation not giving up just quite yet, and you got to commend them for that. But at the same time, this is, he is, well, the water's up to his neck right now. More is just spilling into the room, and he's gonna have to figure something out quickly. He's gonna have to figure something out quickly, otherwise he's just gonna drown here. That's the cold reality. Alright, he is facing. Let's have Stim Pack. I guess that's the bright side. That's the bright side of life now. This army supply is not that far apart from the Protoss either, so it's gonna take a minute or two, I imagine, before there's really a killing blow here. Otherwise, SOS might still give Innovation a couple of opportunities, right? If SOS somehow loses all these Stalkers, suddenly Innovation might be able to get something done across the map. But yeah, that's a big if. That's a big old if. SOS very creative. Sometimes that does kind of, you know, cause a double-edged blade scenario, but I don't know if it's gonna happen here. I think he's pretty aware of the situation that he just needs to defend. He just needs to defend. Alright, in come the SCVs. The final hurrah. Still a formidable push, but the things that are waiting for it is absolutely overwhelming. 4 siege tanks are going to need a whole lot of fire here. They need to siege up as quickly as possible, and I don't think that they managed to do so. That is a dead Terran army now. But a valiant effort from our man, Innovation. Just not quite as good right now as SOS is.